To help your life, to help your life, to help your life, hurt your feelings, 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 to help your life.
Welcome, man. Y'all know who this is. This is Al Terry Henry. And man, I'm enjoying life tonight, man. I'm glad to be here. I want to apologize first and foremost for being late. Okay. We started a little late because I have contractors and a lot of stuff going on, but we started a little late. But we are here. We are here and we are here to answer your questions and to talk about credit. Okay. We talking about credit, we talk about trust funds, we talk about trade lines, we talk about a lot of things. And so with that being said, we want to make sure that we are helping your life. Okay, we get to hurt your feelings, but we're gonna help your life. So make sure you understand that. Okay, you may not like a lot of things because it's we firm, we very firm at what we say because we want you to understand. We don't want to be the people that just telling you things that ain't helping your life, that just telling you things that ain't benefiting you or whatever. We want to tell you things that's going to help your life, that's going to benefit you, that's going to make you a better person. Okay. The show is called the Godcast. It's called Hurt Your Feelings to Help Your Life. I'll get that tea whenever you're ready. It's called Hurt Your Feelings to Help Your Life. So we just want to talk to you today. We're going to start off talking about credit. Okay. And y'all can ask questions throughout this thing. And please drop in the link where y'all from. Okay. Drop where you're from. I love to know. I talk to people all over the world, from Canada and Australia and Africa. And man, I love it, man. I plan on visiting y'all someday and having a relationship with y'all like my family. Go to Australia or China or man, it can be Colorado. I have people that I can call that can, we can meet up, and discuss business and enjoy life, vacation. What I said, I know next month, I keep forgetting the days, but I know next month I'll inform y'all. I will be at my beach house in Florida for a week. So that's next month, in August. And so I'll be in Destin. Okay. We be right on the beach. So if you're in that area, we definitely can meet up, man, and enjoy life. You come talk with me, man. We can go out to eat or whatever while I'm in Destin. Okay. Or you have a beach house. So we go there like 3-4 times a year, whenever we're not traveling to other places, but we'll be in Destin. So I'm just touching bases where I'll be. And I know in September we'll be in San Antonio and probably also on an interview with Billy Carson. So there's a lot of things we got going on, and I'm making you aware so where you can put that in your Rolodex. And I love to meet with you all while we out. Like I said, I'm going to start, but if you have any questions, make sure you ask some questions. Now I'll keep talking and answer your questions as I go. Okay, dealing with credit. Okay, I want to get this understood. A lot of people are still doing credit the same old-fashioned way they was doing it 10 years ago, and that doesn't work. Just writing these, I talked to about 4 or 5 people today that was like, man, I tried to fix my credit. It didn't come off. they disputed it, they verified it, whatever, whatever. Okay, dealing with credit, forget the secondaries right now. Forget to the secondaries, but dealing with credit, okay, it's not as easy as it used to be. Dealing with credit, they are verifying that these accounts are active, meaning that okay, you write your little disciplinary letters, you disputing your letters, you're writing all these things to the credit bureau saying this was not my account. You know how we do it. Okay, well, if you say this car wasn't my account, this truck wasn't my account, whatever, they're verifying with the insurance companies now to see if you had insurance. Because if you're saying you didn't open this account or this wasn't my car or my vehicle, but you had insurance, okay, they want to go get the paperwork from the insurance. They want to verify this, which makes it 10 times harder for you to pull this account off. Now, what we do specifically, the reason why we have the upper hand more than most companies, I won't say all because there's a lot of good people out there, but most companies is we actually go into litigation and we file lawsuits. We file lawsuits. Man, I want to see a wet signed signature, a wet signature, which 9 out of 10 they won't have. I want to see a wet signature of these documents that you say I signed. If you say we bought a car in 2019, then I want a wet signature. A lot of time they won't have it because a lot of major companies send their documents to archive. Archive is places like Iron Mountain or these archive companies where they put the paperwork away because they got so many thousands of people. They put the paper away. Okay. And when you send the litigation in for the lawsuit, like 30 to 45 days to produce that paperwork, which they're not going to produce it, which means they have to take it off permanently off your credit. So there's things like that that we use that other companies don't use. They are just operating under disputes. They're disputing accounts, trying to take it off, yada yada yada. But they don't know about suing companies. Not only suing the creditors, but we also will sue the credit bureau. Okay, because if you're putting it on my account and I'm telling you it's not my account, then you're gonna have to prove to me where I gave you the authorization to act on my behalf, where I gave you the authorization to do things without me telling. It's kind of like getting stopped by the police and they searching your car without a search warrant, or I didn't give them permission. Well, you're gonna have to give me the paperwork where I signed, where I give you an okay to report me. Okay, that's why you got to go in. You got to sign. Go into the secondaries and do opt out, um, opt out letters for everything, and then do that and do this. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you say you're talking about JR's mom, okay, opt out letter for everything. Excuse me 1 minute, y'all. JR mama here. Yeah. So we in my office, but I got a lot of people going on. So but anyway, you got to opt out of those services. Now, the good benefit about opt out of the services is they won't be able to read on you, right? They won't be able to report on you. But the bad thing about opt out of services is that they won't be able to report on you. Okay. When you say, what do you mean by that, Brother Henry? Well, meaning that if um, if you want somebody to report your good credit, the things that's going on good in your life, they won't even better report that because you opt out of the service. So you have to know how to opt out and how to opt in. Meaning that if I want something to be reported on me, if I'm trying to buy a new car or whatever, and I want something to be reported on me, then I got to know how to opt in so they can pull it. Kind of like right now, my credit bureau, I got locks and I got freezes on it. So if I want them to pull it, I got to unlock it, or either the credit report will send me a code, and then from that code, I can, they can see what's going on. Now, then I can lock it back. So it just things like that. I don't want to discombobulate you, but I'm trying to show you. You lock and unlock. You got to know how to do things locking and unlocking. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, because there's so many people. So anyway, so when you're dealing with this, you're doing secondaries. Okay, go to your secondaries, opt out of their services because you didn't give them the permission to report on you. Remember something now. Remember something loud and clear. Companies are getting smart. Companies are getting smart. They are not just going to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax no more to check your record. When we just bought another house, Okay. And when we bought this house, um, we we went to Bank of America. And Bank of America, for those who with Bank of America, they don't pull from Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian. They pull from CoreLogic. CoreLogic is a secondary bureau. So they're pulling from secondary bureaus now because they know that people are going and cleaning up their main bureaus. So now major companies are starting to pull from secondary bureaus to see if what because if you don't clean your secondary bureau but you clean your main bureau, they know that there's a lie. They know that something is wrong. Make it make sense. There's people I'm doing credit for that try to fix their own credit and they're 40, 50 years old and got two accounts. It don't make sense. You're going to have a hospital bill. You're going to have a phone bill. You're going to have certain things. My personal opinion about fixing credit, don't pull everything off. Pull the big accounts off. They're not worried about phone bills. They're not worried about hospital bills and things like that. They worried about repossessions of cars. They worried about foreclosures of houses, credit card accounts. They worried about things like that. Accounts off those bad, and then you can turn around and maybe put you two or three primary zone trade lines. Like with Navy Federal, you can go get a pledge loan. You can do your own pledge loan, and it'll be on there in 15 days. Okay, you can do your own pledge loan, whatever amount you want with Navy Federal. You can go to Navy Federal. You can do a pledge loan. You can pull the money out in 2 days, get your money right back, and the account will start reporting on your credit. Okay, you got Navy Federal. Then you need to go get Uline. You can go to Uline and get you a Uline account, order you some stuff, get you a primary on your account, your credit report that'll start reporting. Then also you can go to Rent Reporters and get you a 5-year backdated trade line. They will backdate 5 years on Rent Reporters, and you pay them their little money every month, and you got trade. So now you got 3 trade lines. You got several more. Do not go worry about Covo and Self and all these things. You can get to boost your score, but let me tell you something. You will boost your score, but it won't matter. The creditors know already about Covo. They know already about all these things. So they are not worried about, thank you. They are not worried about none of these little accounts that you're setting up like Self and all these things. They are not worried about none of these things for you. Okay, make. I'm just giving you a clear understanding because a lot of people go get Self and Covo and all these things that is not benefiting you. AUs are not benefiting you. Don't call. It ain't like it used to be. You can call grandmother up, grandpa, put me on your credit report. As an AU, as an authorized user, and all these things. That is not working like it used to. It does not work anymore. Okay, they want to see primary trade lines. If you want some big stuff, big bucks, no whammy. You want a Rolls Royce. You want you a Lambo truck and these things. I just had a little buddy. I fixed his credit, and he went and got him a Lambo truck. Okay, and the first thing they asked him, they want to see was his revolving credit. They want to see what he had revolving. They want to see what he had as far as primaries. All of these AUs and stuff. None of that stuff did not work. Nobody cared about none of that. They want to see the primaries and the revolving credit, and they want to see his accounts that's on his credit. Okay, they want to see things that's active. They want to look at his utilization. They want to look at things like that that's actually working, that's benefiting and making it go good. So these are the things that we need to be focusing on is the the utilization of your credit, and all these other things. That's what we need to be focusing on. Okay. So any questions we have so far?
A whole bunch. Let's see what we got. Can you post the secondary bureaus?
Yes. Well,
We got them posted in Patreon.
we got them posted in the Patreon. So if you join my Patreon, you can get the secondary bureaus in the Patreon. It's several of them. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 17 secondary bureaus. So I don't know. That's a lot of secondary bureaus. So I know 13 for sure. It comes with the opt-out letters too. So you can opt out of that. It's in my Patreon. You can The Patreon is the Godcast channel. If you're not on it already, it's the Godcast channel, and you can opt out of secondary because you got to remember. And I know you got a lot of questions. I'm ready to answer them, but let me just explain this to them. You got to remember something. All the secondary bureau is something different. Okay, you got check system that reports any bad checks, any bad accounts. If you ever close the bank account and owe them money, they reporting all these things. You got Sage Stream that's reporting apartment broken leases and bad with apartment complexes or rental history. If you had a foreclosure, you got CoreLogic. You got different you got different secondaries that's reporting your background. Like if you ever been to jail, that's how they run your background checks and know if you're a felon and stuff like that. So yeah, you got different secondaries reporting to different things to all your creditors, okay, and to all. So yeah, you need to know who this is, and I'm gonna do another video that's gonna really break this down on who is what, because when you know who is what, when, and where, just like going buy a car, okay. Some of you all don't have to fix, and I'm gonna answer the questions, brother. They keep telling me got a lot of questions, but you don't have to fix all your credit, okay. Some of you all just need to fix one bureau, which may be faster, because they had a lady, she was trying to buy a car from Cadillac. Well, Cadillac pulled from TransUnion. So I just had to fix her TransUnion, and she went and bought her a brand new truck. She had the money, her credit just was too low. So we fixed. Now, Equifax and Experience still was bad, but they pulled from TransUnion. So we fixed the TransUnion, she went and got our car. So you don't have to fix everything. It just depends on where you're going. You may be going to Navy Federal, which is going to pull from a certain, Experience or Equifax, one of them, I forgot. But you find out who they pull from. It doesn't hurt to ask. Be like, who do y'all pull from? They'll tell you who they pull from, and then you can fix that bureau. I mean, I fix all of them, but you can fix that bureau if you're moving fast. And if you move fast, you fix that bureau and you keep going. What other questions we got?
What's some good bank and credit unions to get loans from?
Truist Bank. If you ever heard of Truist Bank, it's like TRUST, Truist Bank, Navy Federal, of course. You got the Teachers Credit Union. You got the Firefighters Credit Union. All of these credit unions give loans. And any small bank, let me understand, if you're in a country town, some of you in a city, any small bank that has, it's still alive, right? Okay, any small bank, if the bank have 1, 2, 3 branches, that's where you want to go. And let me tell you something that y'all don't know. I'm gonna give you a big secret tonight, a big old secret tonight. Okay, they have banks. They have Chinese banks and Pakistan banks and all kind of banks that are in your community. Like I know in Houston, you have banks that actually have Chinese letters on it. Nobody goes in them banks except Chinese people. Every bank that's FDIC insured have to give a certain amount of money to minorities. You may walk in that bank and you may just be the minority that they give money to that year. They have to, otherwise they'll shut the bank down. So don't miss banks because, well, I'm not used to that bank. I'm gonna go to Chase, so I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here. No, go to those banks also and go get money. You gotta remember, people are willing to give you money. The problem is not getting money. The problem most times is figuring out, it's not getting the money. The problem most time is figuring out how you're gonna pay it back. That's the problem. I talk to people all the time. I talk with my banker. They will give you money. The problem is how you gonna pay it back is the major problem. What other questions we got?
Let's see.
Do I need to fix that one?
No.
Okay.
Let's see what we got, man. Yeah. So, what type of mix are you looking for on primaries when it comes to building your credit profile?
You want some high, some low. You might have said what kind of mix on primaries. You want some high, some low. If you can get you a $20,000-$30,000 primary, like I said, you get you a pledge loan from Navy Federal, and then you get you like a $2,000-$3,000 primary on a credit card or something. You want some high, some low. You want some pay, it depends on how many you got. Some of you all have primaries already. You want some paid off, and you want 1 or 2 revolving. That's a good mix of your credit because they see where you have some paid off, so they know you pay your debts, You may have one or two, like some local credit cards or something. They see, well, it's on time and ain't no late payments. You want stuff like that. They see some paid off. They see you paying on something right now, and maybe one high, one low, two low, whatever. That's a good mix of credit. What else you got? So and so while we waiting on some more questions, go ahead.
How do you manage collections and charge-offs and old repossessions that are several years old, like 3-4 years plus?
How do I manage collections and everything? I take it off. That's how you manage it, because you ain't gonna manage it no other way. I'm working on a system right now, and I'm bold enough to say that if I can get this system working, I'm gonna be the only person that I know or ever heard of that can take off late payments and stuff. Everybody say they can. I talked to thousands of people who fix credit. Nobody can. Now we'll take the whole account, but to take the late payments off, that's a whole different ball game. So I want to be able to just to take the late payments off, and we're working through that through litigation again. Suing them, we're threatening to sue them. Just take the late payments off. Either we can take the whole account off, but I really take the late payments off, because got to remember something. That account could be a good account. Some of you, I remember I had years ago, I had a Chase account. I paid off a truck. Now this truck was $80,000. I paid off, but I was late maybe 3 or 4 times in the 4 years I was paying the note. And man, that was a really good account. That was an $80,000 trade line that I screwed up and had to take it off because I didn't know how to take the late payments off. So I had to take the whole account off. That was an $80,000 auto. So a lot of you all got good trade lines on you right now, but because you was late a few times, it could have been any reason. You could have just missed it by a day. They do not take them off. So right now I'm working on some bad boy material I got from my lawyer, and if it works, I'll know something within the next 2 months. If it works, y'all gonna know, because I'm gonna be all on social media telling people how I can take these accounts off, and that's where it gets big at. That's where the money and the rubber meet the road. What else you got?
I want to schedule a credit one-on-one. How do I do that?
You can go through my Patreon and schedule a credit one-on-one. You can go through my website, Al Terry Henry Consulting Group, and schedule a one-on-one. You can just inbox and let us know your name and your phone number, and we can reach out to you. Either way, you can pay with if you're on Patreon and you are join our Patreon, then consultations are free. At the higher levels, $45 members get one consultation free a month. $100 members get 3 free consultations a month, and $199 members get unlimited. So if you're a Patreon member, at the highest rate, you get unlimited memberships, and you also get me guiding you along the way. I talked to a guy today, I forgot his name, but he was asking me about different things, and like I told him, I can help him with a lot of things, but I want people to know that when you join, we don't just give you everything. You get one thing a month. If you want the trash contracts, you're gonna get the trash contracts this month. When you stay on for the following month, then we'll give you the roadside assistance contract free of charge. And you stay on for the following month, then you'll get home remediation and all that. But you're not gonna just get all of this stuff. You can't do everything in one time. It takes time to do these things. So if you want the trash contract, you're gonna get the trash contract now, and then next month when you own the system again, then you'll get something else, because you can't do everything anyway. Stop being greedy. You'll damn yourself that way. Okay, let's work out how to make yourself valuable in one aspect first before you jump to another. So, but back to the credit right now. Okay, what other questions we got on that?
Let's see. What's the best credit card to get for high limits?
American Express, hands down. If you can get one, if you can get an American Express. Now, the fastest way to get an American Express, if you can't just go through American Express and get an American Express, the fastest way you can get American Express is going to be through Navy Federal, because Navy Federal credit cards, even the $500 limit credit cards, is American Express.
Let's see. So what do you do if you want to remove something off your credit, but it's outside of the statute of limitations?
What you mean by that?
Let's see. I'm going to assume they mean it's outside of the state. Like they can't prove they verified it.
Oh, I can move it.
Okay.
I mean, you just gotta sign it with us. You have to sue. If that's the question you're asking, somebody asks, what do you do if it's outside the statute of limitations? So I don't understand what that mean, but I assume they mean if they verified your credit. Like I said, they verified it with the insurance company, they verified everything. Then now we got to sue them, like I said earlier, and they got to produce the wet documents, meaning that when I went in there and I signed it, like you said, produce the wet documents, and then you can sue them. And when we sue, we also suing for money now. You're not just suing to take it off. We suing for money. So a lot of times we get back $1,000. It may not sound like a lot, but you get back $1,000. You get back $10,000. I haven't seen nobody make more than $10,000. You get some money back for suing. Because we're suing you because you're operating illegally and we didn't give you the authority to do so. What else we got?
Do you do any SBA loans and funding?
No, I don't do no SBA loans and funding. Once I fix your credit, all you got to do is go to the Small Business Association and apply, and they'll give you $10,000. I know that because I did it when I was 18 years old. As long as your credit decent, you can go apply for a loan, and they'll give you at least $10,000.
We got a new person on YouTube. They said, "Hello, Mr. Terry.
What's up, man?
I'm at a 690 on Trader Union. I had no late payments. My score was up in the middle of the 700. Lost some points through the hard times, but yet kept my profile okay. I wouldn't mind getting the median payments and stuff off. Do you help people buy their first multi-million-dollar business, like such as was offered on Biz by Sell?
Do I help people buying a multi-million-dollar business?
Mm-hmm. Like by Sell, they'll help you buy a business that's already running.
Do I help people buy? Giving you money or what you mean?
Buying it as far as helping them make sure they got their documents in order and they're doing it the right way.
Depends. Because some of this stuff is illegal. Just keeping it real, and I don't do it no more. So some of that stuff is illegal. Like for instance, they may want bank statements and all that, and I just don't do that stuff no more. Everything. So you get to the bag. If you need $500,000, we can get it. You just need the document. But I don't do that stuff no more. But if you know somebody, because a lot of time they gonna want the last 2 years tax returns. They gonna want statements. So you're gonna need stuff. And of course, bank statements could be bank fraud, tax return, or so it's things like that they gonna want when you talk about multi-million-dollar businesses. Now, if you just go and get a loan for 100,000 or 50,000, they got no doc loans. They're not worried about that. They just want to see your credit, or they want to see money going through an account or certain things. But when you're talking about getting some big money, I ain't got big money, so I know. You're looking at documents. They want documents along with good credit. So and a lot of time they want business credit too. We build business credit also. What else you got?
Do you have any contracts that can make over $5,000 a week?
Almost every contract we sell do over $5,000 a week. Trash contracts, you just got to be willing to work. Amazon do anywhere from 4,500 to 5,500 every week guaranteed. Now Amazon, you already know, it's not going nowhere. It's one of the largest companies in the world. They pack, and you're getting closer to $100 to $500 every week. It's in my Patreon. They in Amazon right now. Barcelo, I met a clip with him getting his badge and all that. So there's a lot of them. Then you got the contract. Then you got the roadside assistance. They do about between $4,000 and $5,000 a week. Just cars that break down, go and jump battery, boost the battery, bring some gas when they run out of gas, change the flat tire. Then you got the home remediation where you go cut grass or you go board up a something to do. Everything makes over $5,000. $5,000 a week nowadays is not a lot of money. It may sound like it because you'd be like, man, I'm making 20 grand a month. But believe it or not, when you've been living that lifestyle. Now, if you go from $15, $20 an hour to $5,000 a week, yes, you'll see a dramatic income. But when you've been making a substantial amount of money, then $5,000 a week is not a lot of money. Go ahead. What else you got?
Somebody said, can you put primaries on a blank account and take that credit account and go get funded?
I'm not going to do it, but yeah, you can. I know people who put primaries on CPNs.
Well, not like that. Like match strong enough to go get funded?
No, because you need to have it need to be an aged account first and foremost. And if you do put primaries on the age account, it need to match, meaning that the primaries need to be old and the age account to be old. You can't put new primaries on the age account; it won't make sense. It'll look like you just got fresh credit. But if you get some primaries, some old age primaries, and you put it on an aged account that's at least 5 years old or older, then yes, you can make some damage then.
So what
Because
do you mean with an age credit account? Meaning that you've been pulling credit for 5 years?
no, meaning an age corporation.
Okay.
You in business for over 5 years. So if you have a business that's over 5 years, then that's considered an age corporation. Because they always say within the first 5 years, businesses fail. So if your business lasts at least 5 years and you got good credit, they willing to give you some major money. That's how you go and you buy you a duplex or a fourplex or something, to get started. You may live in one of them and you may rent the other three with the age corporation. They'll give you money. Trust me.
So, they followed up that way. So that's how you do it on the business side. How do you go about getting personal funding?
You can do it personal too, but your credit can be high and your utilization need to be low. So a lot of people go get uh, 5 trade lines, and utilization was through the roof. Now he bought trade lines, but his utilization was low. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but when you reporting to the credit bureau, they have a section that you can report how much you make, and a lot of y'all report too low. If you're making $50,000 a year, I'm not telling them making $50,000 a year. If I make $50,000 a year, I'm reporting to the credit agency that I make $250,000 because I want that on there. So that way, if I do live above my mean or do something or hit the lottery or whatever, and I buy some stuff, my utilization won't be low because in the system, it already shows them that I'm doing $250,000 a year. I reported to them I make $5 million a year. And I don't make $5 million. We may do $2 or $3 million, but I told them I make $5 million a year. So if we bought $1 million house, we bought, matter of fact, $2 million house. We got the one we living in and another one. So it all, the utilization will always be low because you're showing you making more than you're reporting. What else you got?
Somebody asked this specific question: do you trust any trade line guys? And
No.
Do you have a trade line guy that's a good person?
I have a trade line guy that paid me to advertise for him, but I don't trust nobody. I've been burned by 2 trade line guys. So credit. It's dead with all these cars. I got all these cars. I got the $1 million house. I got this and that. So when I went to buy the second $1 million house, which is an investment property, we bought that last month. It was just too high. So he put that trade line on there for 182 and it boosted up. And I went and bought the house with no problem. But I will say this. I trust him, but I trust people on their limit because this is what trade lines do. I want to share this with you because I know y'all have a bunch of questions. What trade line guys do, they're called data furnishers. Okay, they get approved to report credit on people's credit. Okay, then what happens is they burn it up. They put credit. They're making all this money. Like this guy that I got trade lines from, he told me, he said, man, I made $250,000 my first month. So they make all this money, right? And then they get audited about 3 months later because 90 days in, they get audited. And once they get audited, they can't prove all of these cars that they didn't sold, supposedly, all these houses for these mortgage trade lines, all these credit cards, they can't prove it in documents, which kills their business. So the average trade line guy got a 3, maybe 4 month run before his business is dead, unless he's doing it legitimate. And that's why I don't trust nobody because I don't know how long you've been in business. Yes, it worked for me, but will it work next month? It's a question. I don't know. So I won't put my stamp of approval on nobody. I'll just tell you this is what I use. It worked for me. Now, if it don't work for you, that's on you. But what else you got?
So with trash contracts, you kind of operating as your own independent contractor on your business and everything. So with Amazon, if you have something like an emergency comes up or whatever, something with your child, and you can't do the loads for that day, do you need to be concerned with hiring someone else who can drive that truck for that day?
1,000%, because I own businesses myself, and unfortunately, because I'm trying to get y'all to be business owners, not workers. So as a business owner, you have a different mentality than a worker. As a worker, something happened, I can't pick my child up, whatever, whatever. As a worker, you want me to sympathize with you. As a business owner, I have no sympathy. That have nothing to do with me, because I got a business to run. So even if I'm sick, I got to open them doors. Tell me when y'all ever saw Walmart don't open, and they got one store manager. Walmart is always open, and I'm pretty sure this man or woman gets sick like everybody else. They're human. That's my grandma had a saying that say one monkey don't stop a show. So everybody been telling me the good news. They making money driving. I don't know, but I can almost guarantee they probably give you a slap on the wrist the first time, and sometimes they probably gonna fire you because I would. I was started because you're gonna have class, and then you got a 3-hour training. So you'll be on a truck with somebody, kind of seeing. Remember, Amazon only it's not like the Amazon Flex where you're going house to house and up and stairs and all. No. It's the big boy stuff. You gotta have to have a box truck, or you can rent a box truck. You can rent a box truck from U-Haul or Penske or Enterprise or wherever. But you're gonna have to have a box truck. You back up, they load your box truck, you pull up, they unload it. You only go 3 places. You go to the post office to drop off packages, you go to another Amazon warehouse, or you go to the airport. That's it. Because then in packages, that's the Amazon thing. That's the big boy section of Amazon. What else you got?
You run a long question. If y'all ain't got nothing left, he goes skedaddle like Scooby Doo.
Oh man. Hey, I'm ready, man. I'm excited about tonight. I want to ask a bunch of questions.
That's all I got.
Okay, don't take that. Okay, yeah. So and that's the thing. So we back on credit. Y'all can ask all the questions y'all want to ask, but we're back on credit. Okay, on the credit. When you writing your letters, for those that know a little bit about credit, and you're disputing, you need to dispute your secondaries also. The same packet that you put together to send to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, that same packet of documents that has been notarized. Remember that. And everything is together. You send that same packet to all your secondaries. Every last one of your secondaries that you're going to opt out of. You can go on their website and opt out of them. But that packet need to be sent to them, and it need to be sent priority with somebody sign for it, so that way you keep. I tell people like this: for every individual that credit, I have about 13 to 17 letters that I send out, and it could be more than that. One lady had 40. Experian, Equifax, Trillion. Then I send it to the secondaries. Let's say we got 7 of them. Okay. Then I send them same packet to all of my creditors. So if you have 8 creditors on your credit profile that you are disputing, that you do not want them to go back and try to fight this, you send that off. So now that's 18 that's being sent off for one individual. It ain't just sending off 3. No, because see what happens is you send it off to Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, they take it off. Then about 2-3 weeks later, it comes back on because the creditors now have disputed it and put it on. But when I dispute it instantly with the creditors, then they have to, by law, give it 45 days before they respond. And otherwise there's lawsuits involved because they have to respond with the proper document. They have to respond with the wet paperwork showing that I signed this, that I did this, that you have proof that you have some video proof or some surveillance showing that I went into your building, and they ain't gonna have that. I went into your building and I signed a document to get that car or to get that house or whatever. So I need the paperwork. So when they hit you back, they're not only hitting you back with that supposedly proof, but they're also hitting you back with copies of documents showing the actual paperwork that was signed on your behalf. So these are things that you do in lawsuits. So we want documentation, not just he say, she say. What else you got? So, because there's so many questions now, these are repeat questions. So that's why he passed over a lot of them because there's so many questions, but it's repeat questions. So you can always go back and watch this. It's on YouTube, it's on TikTok, and everywhere. You can always go back and watch this. It's live. So if it's a question you asking If I'm not answering it, it's because we already answered that question before. So, but what I want to say is, like I said, on the credit, on the disputes, remember you got to dispute the secondaries. If you do not dispute the secondaries, 9 out of 10 is going to come back on your credit, and you got to dispute your creditors. So you're going to dispute everybody that's involved. If I'm suing you and you're an LLC, I'm suing all three of your partners if it's three of y'all, because I want to sue the company, and I'm not going to allow you to divide it up and then limit it. Okay, that's why we blend everything into a trust fund. If it's in a trust fund, you can sue what you want to sue. The corporation don't have no money. I don't have no money because it's zeroed out every year. The trust fund have all the money because I donated it. So suing me, you just practicing. You're not gonna get anything. So it's just things like that that we go into detail, and and trying to show you ways to manage, to benefit, to be better at what you do. Okay, we haven't even touched on the trust funds. We just talking about credit right now, secondaries, and the way you fight it, and the way you dispute it, and the whole 9 yards. So anyway, if they don't have no questions, man, we're gonna shut it down. So okay, well, y'all know what y'all can do. Like I say, we're gonna be live again. We're going live. I know we go live on Friday at 8 p.m., but we talked about doing another day. We'll do Thursday, or we're gonna do Saturday.
Probably Saturday.
Okay, probably Saturday. So we're gonna be live the rest of the week. So Friday, Saturday, and of course Sunday we preaching. So I definitely be looking for questions. Put it in the inbox. I also questions in the chats. We go back and we look at the chats. If y'all have a question, you can schedule an appointment through my Patreon or through my website. And I definitely look forward to helping you, man. Back to the guy before I go that asked the questions earlier. You can get one thing a month, man. One thing a month, and we'll work with you. We'll get you through it to get you set up with your process for making money. Because he was excited, and I love it. He was excited about getting to the money, but don't be so excited to where you make a crucial mistake trying to do everything at one time. Now, you will use the same insurance for everything. So you're going to have that part down packed. It's going to be easy. But getting in with these trash contracts is not as easy as you think. It's easy, but you got to learn the rules and regulations. They are real strict. If you show up there blasting music, or you show up there smelling like weed, or you show up there with a bad crew because you're trying to be a boss, you lose your contract. They are really strict. They will pay you arm and a leg. You'll make a lot of money. But if you do something wrong, it's like the casino. It's an old saying that say, slow to hire, quick to fire. They're slow to hire, go through the process. They're going to go through the checking process. They're going to run your background. They're going to get you set up so where they can pay you either by rapid pay, which is a credit card, or your bank account. They're going to go through the whole process to get you set up. But if you screw up, it don't take that long for them to get rid of you. So make sure you got it down pat. 'Cause you got to remember, you get it when the trash contract, you're getting on with several different companies. Every company operates different. Figure out how this company operate. Figure out how this company operate. How this company operate. Now you're making $5,000-$10,000 a week. You may not even be concerned with doing the home remediation or something else, because to make $5,000-$10,000 a week is a lot of money. Everybody don't make 10,000 a week. I'm just saying that's the highest I've heard somebody make was 13,500 a week. That was the highest. The lowest normally $2,500 a week. So even at $2,500 a week, you still at a six-figure mark. That's $10,000 a month. You at a six-figure. You over six figures now. And at $10,000 a week, you had 40,000. I mean, come on, you do the math. 10 months, you had 400. You had $500,000 at that point. So this can change your life. So I would say slow, learn the game, focus on what you're doing, and you'll be really successful. Okay. I can help you with the buying the houses and all this other stuff, putting it in a trust, getting your trust fund, getting your cars in a trust, all these things. I can help you with all that. Just join the Patreon. I'll get a consultation. But in the process of helping you with that, you got to be organized, man. Get your credit together. If you don't do nothing else, get your credit together, man, and focus on what the book of Habakkuk says, write it down and make it plain. Focus on what you're going to do with the money. I get so sick and tired of helping people get money. Last week, people get money. The week before, helping people get money, and then they don't know what to do with the money. Oh, I'm going to get me a fourplex. Or I'm going to get me a gas station. Man, have you been looking? Have you been searching for gas stations? How many people have you talked about it? I know you ain't got the money, but have you been preparing for it? How many people have you spoken to about buying a gas station to know where you want to be? When these major companies are buying businesses, they got scientists almost research market analysis that they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to know what side of the street to put it on. If a gas station is closing down and you never owned a gas station before, and you want to buy a gas station, 9 out of 10 you buying a failed business. They didn't fail because they didn't know what they was doing. A lot of these gas stations is owned by a lot of these Pakistan and Indian corporations where they got 400 and 300 gas stations. So if that one failed, it ain't always because they were bad businessmen. It's because they was in a bad area and they opened up with a hope and a prayer. And now you're going to jump into that gas station not knowing the business. You got to get set up with. I'm just using for example because one of the guys said you want to open a gas station. Well, you got to get your credit got to be up to par because you ain't better get no gas, and they go by credit. Your credit got to be good, And so it's things like that. Whenever you're ready to do something, if you need a consultation, I'm here. If not, if you got it together, look, we help you get some money. But don't blame me if you fail. I'm trying to make you win. Y'all, you got any questions before I go? Okay. Love you, man. I will see you on Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's talk.